first Sunday, I was greeted like I was a long-lost friend by Margaret Northey. Some of you probably have it. That loving greeting was repeated all throughout that day. Everybody that I met. I was just amazed how friendly this church is. Then the service began, and the love continued with the greetings, saying hello. Everyone was loving one another just because they were there. There was no judgments. There was no preconceived notions. They were just there, and it was unconditional love. I was sure that this is a very special place. Then Stephanie and her wonderful group of musicians began to play, and the choir sang, and the whole church was filled with the great sounds. One thing struck me that very special first day, and it has every day since, is the words to the songs. Not only is the music beautiful, but the words are lessons in themselves, and they're a major part of our service. And Lisa and Stephanie and others have written these beautiful words, and like I say, they are lessons in themselves. They're a major part of my experience. I grew up Catholic, and like probably some of you. And like many of us, I fell away from that church. One of the problems I always had is that when I went to church, I went because I had to or I was a sinner. I didn't want to be a sinner. So I didn't go because I wanted to. I went because I had to. In that church, because it was always the same, my mind was always distracted. My mind wandered, and I wasn't thinking about the things that I should have been thinking about. Here, it's different. We all participate in the lessons. We are all involved in the songs and all parts of the service. We are the service. And it keeps our attention focused where it should be, giving glory to the Lord. For me, that's what I need, and how I want to be closer to my Savior. This church is so blessed in so many ways, but especially by its wonderfully talented group of musicians and singers. By the time we get to the real sermons of that day, Renee and the other ministers have always had a tough act to follow, yet they always did it well. Their messages and sermons are always on point, and they help us learn and understand our God even better. Renee and the others have always been there to help with problems any of us may have. Prayer solves everything, and the people in this church help one another all the time. That prayerful love is always unconditional, and it's non-judgmental. Everyone is always there for one another. In very short order, I realized this was the church home I had been searching for. I joined as a member my third week. I'm so blessed that God led me to this place and has allowed me to share this home. I've always believed, before now, that going to church should be like going to your best friend's house. You don't have to go every week to be loved by your best friend, but it's just nice when you do. And since I found this home, I look forward to going every week. I wouldn't miss the love and the fun I have here for anything. I want to share one other thing with you, and then I'll go sit down. In the last 5 years, God has given me more challenges than He has the whole rest of my life put together. Probably the greatest of those challenges has been medical. During the last 5 years, I've had to go and be admitted to the hospital a total of 21 times. I've had 14 major surgeries for all kinds of different things. The most recent was probably the most scariest of all of them. I was told I had a cancerous tumor on my right kidney. And the treatment was to remove the tumor with the kidney. On April 12th of this year, I had that done at MD Anderson. They relieved the operation was totally successful, and I recovered so quickly that they released me in 50 hours after the doctor began the surgery. I have had no problem since. I've been told that the surgery was 110% successful. I am cancer-free. So far, they do not expect that I'll need any future chemo or any radiation. My cancer is gone. I share this with you because I believe with all my heart that this miraculous recovery in such a short time was totally due to the prayers offered for me from my church family and friends. God answered your prayers, and I'm the living proof. You should also know, because I will never forget, that the first person I saw when I opened my eyes after coming out of surgery was Margaret. My son and my daughter-in-law were there too, but God directed me to her. He directed my eyes to her. I don't know how she got into that ICU. Most of you know that they don't let people that aren't family. But Margaret is family. So, and the other thing is, I guess any of you that know Margaret know she will find a way to get it done if she wants to. So, she was there. When I awoke, I saw her putting on my chest a beautiful prayer blanket that my friends and my church family had gotten for me and prayed over. I will tell you that my nurses and doctors were absolutely amazed at how quickly I recovered. I knew in my heart it was because of you and your prayers. This is my church, and now it is all of yours. God has given us this gift to share his love and his home. We all need to do everything we can to be sure that we do our part to assure this wonderful home remains for us. God has a plan for his church. We don't know exactly what that is, but we have to trust and have faith that he knows. I do, and I know you do too. So let's join together and do what each of us can do to assure that our church flourishes and grows. Great things come from having faith in God and following his will. We all need to be part of that. There's no doubt that this church is where my heart is, and I, for one, am all in. God bless this church, and God bless each of you.
Please